So today our topic is the development of the integumentary system. As you know, integumentary system includes the skin and its appendages. First of all, we see the skin is derived from the three diverse components, that is from the surface ectoderm, underlying mesoderm and neural crest cell. So as you know, the skin has the two layers, the epidermal layer and the dermis layer. First of all, we will see the epidermis. The epidermis is derived from the surface ectoderm, which is first a single layer. So here you can see in this picture, so the epidermis is derived from the surface ectoderm, and to begin it is the single layer cells. Okay, then what happens, it proliferates and forms the two layer cell. So after proliferation of these cells, it become two layers. The upper one, it is known as epitracheum or periderm. It consists of the flat shaped cells, and the underlining is the another layer of cuboidal form of cell, that is known as the basal or germinative layer. So this is the now it is the two cell stage. The upper is epitracheum or periderm and the lower one is the basal or germinative layer. Later on, the cells of this basal layer, and it the name suggests the germinal layer. Germinal मतलब germinate करता है. So it germinates, it means it proliferates and forms the other layer of cells. That is first of all the intermediate layer of cells. So we have now the three layers of the skin: the germinal layer, the intermediate layer, and the upper is the periderm. Then what happens, during the third to fifth month, because of the proliferation of these cells, the epidermis become typical stratified and consists of the five layer of cells. So at the fifth week of intrauterine life, you can see we have the five layers of the skin. The basal one is germinal layer, then we have the stratum spinosum, that is the intermediate layer, that is divided into now three layers: the stratum spinosum, stratum granulosum and stratum lucidum, and the upper one, that is the stratum epitracheum, become now the stratum corneum. Now up to the end of the fifth month, there will be a continuous keratinization, desquamation and replacement of the peridermal cells by those arising from the germinal layer. So from the germinal layer, the cells proliferates and replace the upper layers. So here we can say, what is vernix caseosa? What is this? Vernix caseosa is actually the superficial layer of the epidermis which are shed off during the intraembryonic life. So the superficial layer of the skin which is shed off during the intrauterine life and get mixed with the secretion of sebaceous gland and hairs to form a वाइट स्टिकी सब्सटेंस. आपने देखा होगा जब बच्चे पैदा होते हैं ना, उनको ऊपर से वो स्टिकी लेयर, वो वाइट कलर का वो स्टिकी लेयर होती है. दैट इज वर्निक्स कैशियोसा. एंड व्हाट इज दैट? एक्चुअली दे आर द शेडिंग ऑफ द स्किन एंड दैट गेट मिक्स विद द secretion of sebaceous gland and hairs. What is the function of this caseosa? It has a protective function as it prevents the skin from maceration of by amniotic fluid. After fifth month, the periderm disappears as the cells are cast off and appears in the amniotic fluid. In the place of periderm, the stratum corneum forms. Okay. Then we see the proliferation of the stratum corneum. It extends into the developing dermis. So this is the epidermis, whole of this is epidermis, and the underlying is the dermis. The dermis, the cells of this germinal layer proliferates and from the ridge-like structures which dips into the underlying dermis, and this ridge is known as the epidermal ridge. They appear at the 11th week of intrauterine life. You can see here in this picture we have in our fingers and palms we have different grooves, and including the digits of the feet. These are known as the epidermal ridges. As I told you, how the epidermal ridges are formed. So on the fingerprints, so these are known as the fingerprints. These are actually the epidermal ridges, and it is characteristic patterns are there are different types of these epidermal ridges, or we can say the fingerprints. So we have the arch, we have loop-like, we have composite, it means it have both arch and loop. We have the word-like, and it is known that these epidermal ridges, or we can say this fingerprint, are typical to every person. Even the identical twins don't have the same fingerprints. Now we will see the other cells of the skin, that the main important cell are the melanoblast cells or dendritic cells. So these cells are derived from the neural crest cells. As I told you, that skin is derived from the three diverse components: ectoderm, mesoderm, and neural crest cell. Ectoderm we see. Now the neural crest cells are the melanoblast cells. They invade the epidermis during the third month of life, and later on they invade the dermo-epidermal junction and become melanocyte. So these are the melanocyte cells. They are the neural crest origin. Remember here that melanoblast cells are neural crest in origin, and it invades the dermoepidermal junction and become melanocyte. And what is the function of these melanoblast cells? Their function is to secrete the pigment that is known as melanin, which is responsible for the skin color and hair color. Cell bodies, here you can see the cell bodies of the melanocyte are confined to the basal layer of cell, and their process extends between the epidermal cells. Here body is here at the basal layer, and it is dendrite process. It goes upwards and produces, what is the function? It produces the melanin. The Merkel cells and Langerhans cells also appears in the epidermis between 8th week and 12th week of intrauterine life. These cells you have already known from the histology class. Now we will see the dermis. So dermis is formed by the condensation and differentiation of the mesenchyme. So as I told you that the epidermis is ectodermal in origin, neural crest from the melanoblast from neural crest, and now we have the dermis from the underlying mesenchyme. So there are three sources, we can say, mesenchyme. The three different mesenchymes participate in the formation of the dermis of the skin. The dermatome. As you know, we have the dermatome. What is dermatome? The paraxial mesoderm, we know, is divisible into the somites, and these somites is triangular in shape and divided into the three parts, that is the dermatome, laterally, middle myotome, and sclerotome. So this dermatome give rise to the dermis of the dorsal aspect of the head and trunk. Okay, remember here the dermatome or the paraxial mesoderm, it give rise to the dermis of the dorsal aspect of head and neck. पीछे से जो हमारा dorsal aspect of head and neck है वो आता है हमारा dermatome से. The dermis of the limbs, अब हमारे बच्चे dermis of the limbs वो कहाँ से आता है? That arises from the lateral and ventral aspect of the trunk, and ectodermis of the limbs and the lateral and ventral aspect of the trunk. डॉर्सल का हमें पता है, अब हमारा कहाँ से आया? लैटरल एंड वेंट्रल और लिम्ब का, वो डर्मिस कहाँ से आता है? फ्रॉम द लैटरल प्लेट मेसोडर्म. एंड द डर्मिस ऑफ द हेड, दैट इज द एंटीरियर एस्पेक्ट. अब हमारा एंटीरियर एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द हेड एंड नेक का बच्चा वो कहाँ से आता है? फ्रॉम द न्यूरल क्रेस्ट. ठीक है, तो डर्मिस आपको याद रखना है 3 ऑरिजिन से आता है. एक ऑरिजिन आता है हमारा जो डॉर्सल एस्पेक्ट ऑफ हेड एंड नेक, एंड जो हमारा ये है हेड एंड ट्रंक जो पीछे साइड का बॉडी है, वो आता है हमारा डर्माटोम से. अब बचा हमारा बॉडी का लैटरल एंड वेंट्रल एस्पेक्ट एंड द लिम्स, वो आता है लैटरल प्लेट मेसोडर्म से. और जो हमारा वेंट्रल एस्पेक्ट ऑफ हेड और नेक का था वो आया न्यूरल क्रेस्ट से. So by the 11th week, mesenchymal cells began to produce the collagen and elastic fibers. The junction between the dermis and epidermis is first straight. This line is first straight. Here you can see the junction between the epidermis and dermis is first straight, but later on what happens, it shows the thickening. The basal layer of the epidermis shows thickening and proliferates and dips into the underlying dermis, and due to this various ridges are formed, that is known as the dermal papilla. So this is the dermal papilla. So still later surface elevation occur, that is known as the epidermal ridges. Okay. So we can say the dermis differentiates into two layers later on, in the superficial papillary layer and the deeper reticular layer. Now we will see the different appendages of the skin. What are the appendages of the skin? These are associated structures that are derived from the epidermis and dermis. जो भी structure arise होता है epidermis या dermis से, उनको हम कहते हैं appendages of skin, and they are located adjacent to the skin and serve specific function. For example, prevention of heat loss, sensation. Then now, what are these appendages? These are nails, hairs and glands. First of all, we will see the nail. So the nail develops from the surface ectoderm. The ectoderm at the tip of the each digit become thick at the 10th week of intrauterine life and from the primary nail field. So at the tip of each digit during the development we have the digits, 5 digit, and at the tip of each digit what happens, it become the ectoderm become thick, and that thickening is known as the primary nail field. Now subsequently what happens, the thickening migrates from the tip of the digit on the dorsal aspect and is surrounded by the, तो यहाँ से पहले अराइज हो गया प्राइमरी नेल फीड और ये क्या चला गया, पीछे पीछे चला गया, बट फ्रॉम द ऑन द डोर्सल एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द ईच डिजिट. तो जब ये पीछे पीछे चला गया, इट बिकम सराउंडेड बाय द टू लैटरल फोल्ड and one proximal nail fold. So these are known as the lateral nail fold and this is the proximal nail fold later on. The cells of the most proximal part. अब जो सब पीछे से जो सेल्स है, सबसे पीछे जो proximal part में जो हमारी सेल्स है, तो ये हमारा नेल है, जो पीछे की सबसे पीछे सेल्स है, the cells here proliferates and now it is known as the root of the nail. क्योंकि जो पीछे सारी proximal cells, जो सबसे पीछे वाले cells है, the proximal part, यहाँ पे जो cells है ये क्या हो जाती है, ये यहाँ पे डेवलपमेंट, यहाँ पे proliferate हो जाती है, इसलिए हमने इसका नाम दिया है root of the nail, क्योंकि ये यहाँ से proliferate हुई, that is why it is known as the root of the nail. And the cells here are the germinal layer that becomes a multiple into the other layers. तो यहाँ पे जो, क्योंकि ये germinal, क्योंकि यहाँ proliferate हुआ, that is why it is known as the germinal. It is whole, it is known as the root, और जो इसके ऊपर ये cells है, it become the germinal layer. As the cell in this matrix multiply, they are transferred into the nail substance. यहाँ पे बनी और कहाँ चली गई, it transferred into the nail substance. And it corresponds to the nail substance या nail plate भी हम इसको कहते हैं, and it corresponds to the stratum lucidum of the skin. ये याद रखना. So it so the nail substance corresponds to the stratum lucidum of the skin. So at first the stratum corneum covers the surface. पहले तो ये stratum corneum भी इसको cover करता है, but later on it disappears except over the proximal part of the nail plate. जो हमारा proximal part है यहाँ पे रह जाता है, बाकी stratum corneum disappear हो जाता है. तो the part of this epidermis overlying the part of nail plate is called, जो यहाँ पे nail plate पे epidermis है उसको हम eponochium कहते हैं. So it is eponochium, this part, the proximal part, and the rest, that is this the epidermis below the free margin of the nail is called hyponochium. तो यहाँ पे जो free margin के पास हमारा epidermis है, that is known as hyponochium, और proximal part पे जो है उसको कहते हैं epinochium. So migration of primary nail feet from the tip of the digit, क्योंकि अभी हमने बताया कि tip of the digit पे जो हो गया arise हमारा प्राइमरी नेल फील्ड, वो माइग्रेट होके पीछे चला गया. तो अब जब हम देखते हैं ना नर्व सप्लाई ऑफ द डोर्सल एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द फिंगर्स, यू विल सी इट आर डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम द अल्नर नर्व और मीडियल नर्व, लेकिन उनका नर्व सप्लाई क्या होता है, वो पाम से जाके फिर वो पीछे आ जाता है ड्यू टू द माइग्रेशन ऑफ द सेल्स. दैट इज वाई दे हैव द नर्व सप्लाई फ्रॉम द पाल्मर एस्पेक्ट और वेंट्रल एस्पेक्ट. नाउ वी हैव द अनदर appendage, that is the hair. The hair is derived from the surface ectoderm. So hair is also derived from the surface ectoderm. At the site where the hair follicle is to be formed, यहाँ पे, तो ये हमारा सरफेस एक्टोडर्म है। जहाँ पे भी हमारा हेयर फॉलिकल बनना है उस पर क्या होता है, तो सेल्स ऑफ द एपिडर्मिस proliferates. As it proliferates is formed a cylindrical mass. तो cylindrical mass बनता है और जाके जाके नीचे नीचे it grows down into the dermis. So when it grows a cylindrical form, this proliferation from the epidermis, it forms a cylindrical shaped structure and it goes into the dermis. The lower part of this cylindrical mass, so the lower part of this cylindrical mass become expanded. यहाँ देख सकते हो ये expand हुआ है, and it is lower part become invaginated by the condensation of the mesoderm cell which forms the papilla. तो यहाँ पे भी mesoderm cells आती है जिसको हम papilla कहते हैं. The hair itself is formed by the proliferation of germ cells overlying the papilla. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे देखो papilla आ गया, तो ये एपिडर्म से डाउन ग्रोथ आ गई, यहाँ पे सेल्स से आ गया papilla mesoderm से, जो अब इसकी अपनी सेल्स थी, जो अपनी जर्मिनल सेल्स थी ओवरलाइंग द papilla. ठीक है, as the hair grows to the surface it forms the another covering that is known as the epithelial root sheath. तो ये जो है ये हमारा जो सराउंडिंग सेल्स है surrounding this downward growth, it is known as the epithelial root sheath, and the additional root sheath is formed from the surrounding mesenchyme. जो surrounding mesenchyme था बाकी का उसने बनाया डर्मल रूट शीट. अंदर का जो था वो अपना इसका है फ्रॉम द एक्टोडर्म. ठीक है, उसने बनाया एपिथेलियम, और जो बाहर का है वो मेसोडर्म से आया, दैट फॉर्म्स द डर्मल रूट शीट. So here you can see we have the erector spinae muscle, erector pili muscle. A thin band of smooth muscle is formed by the mesodermal cells. जो बाकी the mesoderm cells थे उसने क्या किया, that forms the smooth muscle that gets converted into the smooth muscles and get attached to the dermal root sheath. तो उसने यहाँ पे एक एंगल पे smooth muscles mesenchymal cell ने smooth muscle बनाई and it get attached to the dorsal root sheath. ठीक है, so the typical hair follicle is thus formed here. Now we have the glands of the skin. As you know, we have the sebaceous gland. These are located near the hair follicle. यहाँ पे this is the sebaceous gland. तो hair follicle के पास होता है हमारा. इसका function क्या होता है? It acts as a waterproof for the surface of the skin and protects the skin. Then we have the acrine sweat glands. They lie deep to the dermis. वो dermis में होता है. They are involved in maintenance of the body temperature. We have apocrine sweat glands. They are located in the armpit, groins, around nipple. Their secretion produces the odor for the sexual attractants. Cerominous glands are present in the external auditory meatus and produce the airwax. We have the mammary glands. These are secrete the milk after parturition. So these are the different glands of the skin. First of all, we will see the sebaceous gland. The sebaceous gland is formed as a bud arising from the ectodermal cells. यहाँ पे देख सकते हो the ectodermal cells of the hair follicle give rise to a bud. तो यहाँ पे पहले bud एक arise होता है, तो यहाँ देख सकते हो the sebaceous gland arises as a bud from the ectoderm of the developing hair follicle from the epithelial root sheath. ठीक है, the bud grows into the adjacent dermis. यहाँ पे dermis में जाता है and divides into the number of branches. From there the alveoli and the ducts are formed. The central cells यहाँ पे देख सकते हो proliferate हो रहा है. जो इसकी central cells होती है it degenerates and produce the oily sebum that is released on the surface of the skin. So we have the erector pili muscles present here at the angle between the skin and the hair follicle. You can see it is different, arises from the mesenchymal cells. Sebaceous gland we have here. Okay, now we have the sweat gland. Sweat glands is also of two types, acrine and apocrine. Acrine develops from the downward growth. So here you can see the sweat glands, acrine sweat glands. They arises from the downward growth. जैसे हमारा hair follicle हुआ arise, वैसे ही ectoderm से क्या होता है, proliferates होती है cells and it shows a downward growth. The downward growth goes the underlying dermis. Then what happens? The first of all, this downward growth is solid first. तो इसकी central cells क्या हो जाती है, degenerate हो जाती है and it become canalized. The lower end of this downward growth become coiled. जो lower part है, it become coiled and form the secretory part of the gland. The upper end remains the straight and it forms the duct of the sweat gland that opens on the surface of the epidermis by sweat pore. The eccrine glands start functioning from the time of birth, and the mechanism of secretion of merocrine and take part in the temperature of temperature control. Functioning का क्या होता है? Control करते हैं temperature. Now we have the apocrine sweat glands that begins during the puberty. Eccrine जो होता है वो तो पहले से ही होता है at the time of birth, but apocrine function करते हैं at the time of puberty. They are present in the axilla, nipple, perianal areas. They develop from the hair follicle in the form of buds and open in the hair follicles. They are named apocrine because their secretory cells are shed during secretion. Now we can see the different anomalies of some anomalies related to the skin are aplasia. The skin may fail to develop in certain region. Dysplasia मतलब abnormal in structure. Numerous variety of dysplasia are described. The dysplasia of maldevelopment from the various ectoderm include hair, sweat glands and sebaceous gland, teeth. We have the disorder of the pigmentation. Like I told you, melanocyte cells secrete the melanin pigment which gives color to the skin, but in some genetical disorders we have the white there is absence of the pigment of the skin, that is known as the albinism. Not only on the skin, hair and eyes also colorless, and they occur because of the melanocyte are unable to synthesize melanin. That is the autosomal recessive disease. Another we have the vitiligo. Vitiligo is actually the autoimmune disease. It shows the patches of pigmentation on the hair, skin or oral mucosa. It is not a congenital disease. Then we have the problem in the keratinization. One of the disorder is ichthyosis. It is the hyperkeratinization of the skin. It is another hereditary disorder of autosomal recessive or X-linked disease. We have various diseases related to the skin like congenital alopecia, absence of hair during the absence of hair, eyebrows and eyelashes. Atrichia absence of hair in any part of the body. Hypertrichosis overgrowth of the hair, either localized or generalized. Anonychia nails may be absent. Now we have the development of the mammary gland. Mammary gland are modified sweat glands and are ectodermal in origin. Like we see in some animals, like in the bitch, there is the series of mammary glands present on either side of the midline, on the ventral aspect of the body. So this is the ridge that arises from the axilla to the groin. This ridge is known as the mammary line or mammary ridge. But in humans, what happens? It appears in the 7th week of intrauterine life and extends from the upper lip to the lower limb, from axilla to the groin. Here you can see. Now most of the ectoderm this become thick along the line to form the mammary ridge. Most of the line disappears except in thoracic region. जो बाकी का है ये डिसअपियर हो जाती है, रिच डिसअपियर हो जाती है, लेकिन लोअर एनिमल्स में रहती है. बट इन ह्यूमंस ये डिसअपियर हो जाती है, but except the thoracic region. Each mammary gland then develops at the line from this epidermal ridge. Here the mammary gland, here you can see the epidermis become thick and it shows the primary bud. From the primary bud, secondary buds arise. You can see primary bud, then secondary bud arises. They are first solid, then the central cells degenerates and forms the become canalized. So here you can say they are first solid and it become later on canalized. So the secretory element form the alveoli of the gland by the proliferation of the terminal part of the outgrowth. जिसके terminal part है वो secretory part बनाता है और जो बाकी का होता है वो duct बनाता है. So the overlying the duct are first open into the pit, form the cavitation, then the growth of the underlying mesoderm. जो इसके आसपास जो mesoderm था वो उसने growth की. Due to that growth it pushes the wall of the pit outward until it becomes elevated above the surface and form the nipple by the time of birth. As you know, the mammary gland remains rudimentary in the males, but in females, the duct and the secretory element undergo the extensive development during puberty and pregnancy. There are various anomalies related to this. We have amastia, that is absence of mammary gland; athelia, that is absence of nipple; polythelia, that is supernumerary nipples are present along the line of ridge. They may be rudimentary, or there may be accessory mammary gland. The nipple may be inverted. There may be variation in the size of the breast. Gynecomastia, the male breast become enlarged in the normal, as in the normal female, and may even secrete the milk. Okay, thank you so much.